AI is all the rage right now, and everybody's talking about how it's going to take your job. But I think instead of fighting AI, we need to rather learn to work with it. Today, I'm going to show you 5 ways in which you can use AI and automation in your daily practice to possibly save you hours every single day. Hi again, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm a doctor working here in Cape Town, South Africa. I've worked in family medicine, emergency medicine, as well as maritime medicine. And I know if there's one thing that really kills me while practicing medicine, it's admin. And that can really just eat your soul. So let's get straight into all the ways you can use AI today to help you in your general practice or any practice that you possibly use. So picture this, you're in the zone, you're examining your patients, you're helping people, and you've just finished with your last patient. You look over at your blank screen, there's no notes there yet. It's waiting for you to type something, and your next patient is waiting outside for you. You're in a rush, so you chop a few key details in and promise you'll make more detailed notes later, get the next patient in. You've probably all been in this situation, and sometimes you'll get back to a patient, try to figure out what you were going to type, and suddenly your mind's blank and you can't quite remember what exactly it was that you wanted to add to their notes, and maybe you miss a really important detail. So how does AI fix this? Well, apps like Heidi, Healthbridge, or Autoscribe essentially listen to your consultation, make a summary of your notes, and put everything that it thinks is relevant into a summary. You can obviously still edit these things later if you think that AI missed something very important, but this goes a long way to saving you a ton of time writing notes on patients, spending hours perhaps after work trying to catch up on patient notes. You can even structure it into a template for specific types of patients, or perhaps for specific types of consultations, which will make things even easier going forward as you get used to the system and as you sort of personalize it for your own way of working. So the second way in which AI can help you is with referral letters. Let's say you've just seen your patient, you need to get them to a specialist, so you've got to get their referral letter sorted. You put it on your to-do list that sits in the corner of your mind for the next 3 days, and after a week the patient messages you again to ask if the referral note's ready. It's not, because you've been busy seeing lots of patients, trying to catch up on other admin, trying to catch up on your notes, trying to catch up on other referral letters, look up results, send those to patients, and these things all just slowly fall behind. So imagine this, you've used AI to generate your notes during a consult, and as soon as the consultation's done, you click on referral and it automatically makes a whole referral letter to you, which you can print or send to the patient immediately. No need to even add it onto your to-do list. It's out of your mind, completely done. In a similar way, you can even use this system for renewing patients' chronic scripts, especially if there's been no major changes to the patient, or perhaps you've mentioned the changes during your consult, then it could automatically adjust the chronic script that you would do and get that sorted, printed to the patient, or sent to the pharmacy where the patient needs it. Area number 3 is where AI can help you with smarter admin and smarter bookings. So let's talk about your front desk, for instance. You already get online bookings or automated reminders. These go a long way in saving your staff hours and hours on the phone, but there's other ways in which AI can assist even further. So let's say you have a patient who's trying to book an appointment. AI could possibly triage that patient initially to decide if something is more urgent, or perhaps even screen it. You know, maybe a patient is coming to see you at a GP level, and actually they should be getting straight to the hospital. For instance, somebody with a suspected stroke shouldn't be coming to the GP practice wasting time. They got to get straight to the emergency unit where they can get a scan to facilitate their treatment as soon as possible. You could use some sort of AI chatbot which would essentially triage and screen these patients, or block a booking if perhaps it's inappropriate. This just simply goes a long way in saving precious time for the patient and also precious time in your own practice. Area number 4 where AI can help you is staying updated without drowning in information. I've said this in many of my previous videos, but obviously one of the biggest areas or challenges for doctors right now is trying to keep up with information. There's so much new information all the time. It's difficult to keep up with the newest protocols and procedures in every kind of medical condition, especially if you're dealing in quite a broad category of medicine such as GP work or emergency medicine. There's a new guideline every week, sometimes every hour. There's new drugs every second week. By the time your patient's out the door, you're already out of date with what's new in the current guidelines. So what do we do for this? So I use open evidence. Think of open evidence as a ChatGPT that is essentially linked to peer-reviewed literature, meaning you're not getting information from your local health guru. This is all just relevant medical journals and literature. So everything is accurate and all the information that you get is referenced. So you can look at the original journal or article if you want out of interest. If you have a lot of information, you could even use AI to summarize some journals or articles and have a compiled database of these, perhaps in Google spreadsheets or in a Notion page. And when you have time, you can look at these and just reflect on the summary when you have a spare minute in between a patient or when you're grabbing a coffee or grabbing your lunch. I know for me, this really saves time because when I get given a huge journal article, I really honestly have time to read the whole thing. Sometimes I'll just look at the conclusion, see what's said, and to be honest, you miss a lot just by sort of skimming articles and peer-reviewed literature like that. So area 5 where AI can help you is through marketing and patient communication. Doctors are notoriously bad at doing pretty much anything outside of medicine, especially when it comes to marketing, and that's where I really think AI can be useful. You know, we're trained for years and years to treat patients. We've never been trained to post on Instagram or post a weekly newsletter, for instance. So you could use tools like ChatGPT or Canva or even MailerLite to personalize your brand for your practice. It can help you perhaps generate a weekly newsletter or even just to draft emails to your own small patient base. You could set this up in a way that you set it up once and essentially your practice will keep communicating with the patient while you can keep actually seeing and treating your patients without having to worry about posts or marketing or communication with patients. This would all just be automatically done and it's quite easy to do. If you do struggle sort of from more a doctor perspective with these kind of things, this is something you could hire somebody to do as a once-off setup and you could just tweak things in between over time. And one more bonus tip. So you could use AI to set reminders for your chronic patients to come for their follow-ups. Essentially, you could use AI to read your entire patient database, check to see which of your chronic patients haven't been for their regular follow-up, and then send a reminder to them. This is obviously beneficial for you because you'll get to see the patient more, and beneficial to the patient because it'll give them better continuity of care. So ultimately, AI isn't here to replace doctors. I think AI is here to basically get rid of the admin that's getting in your way of actually being a doctor on a day-to-day basis. And I think that practices that embrace this really early on are going to pull ahead to most of their competition. So what does this mean for you as a doctor? Hopefully it just means a little bit more time for yourself outside of the clinic, having a better life balance, a little bit more time for your daily coffee. And perhaps this is just the small thing that you need to prevent yourself from heading down that route of burnout in a crazy busy clinic on a day-to-day basis. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for all of you. Please let me know if you have any questions below or if you think there's something that I missed, and I'll see you guys in another video. Cheers.